you know what time it is. It's Within the Flesh, baby. It's my podcast, okay? Within the Flesh, episode 34. How's it been, everybody? It's me, Big Jubber Man. Look, see that? That's my bed. It's barely even made. Who did this to me, huh? What the fuck? Anyways, hello everyone. It's good to be back. I took a little bit of a break. I think it was two episodes worth of a break. So, I feel refreshed. I felt like I ran out of topics. Well, actually, I guess for Within the Flesh, it's way more than just 2 episodes. It's more like a freaking month worth of Within the Flesh. It's just like, boom, see ya, bitch. But I felt like I ran out of topics to do, I felt like all the interesting things that I could talk about were talked about, I've said it before on the podcast that basically I feel like Within the Flesh, the original intention of it is that it was supposed to just be a nice little diary, basically, for me. Like, I feel like that's what it kind of turned into towards the end, was that it was just a big old diary of like, dear diary, why are people stupid? Thanks, bye. But I thought maybe I could continue to use the Gemini bot and we could figure that out. Maybe see what different types of things that we can talk about. I actually used it for this as well. Let me go take a quick little peek. Oh, my fucking screen is all covered up. Help me! Is that a new thing? It's like whenever my thing is covered up, it's like, nope. Sorry, sir. Can't show your face cam. Dude, that's so stupid. Thanks a lot, Discord. You're fuffed. Whatever. I'll have it in windowed mode. But, we have us quite the topic today. If I go all the way down, I can read it out. But, basically we're going to be talking about, I don't know, the psychology of relationships. And discussing maybe some interesting points on it. Like, I don't know, the science of attraction, the attachment styles and compatibility, the power of communication, conflict resolution, and healthy fights. What? Maintaining intimacy and passion, love languages and action, navigating challenges. Dude, shut the F up. No fucking way, man. Fucking Discord. Sorry. Yeah, I think this will be at least decent. I feel like as a man who last had a relationship when I was in middle school, and maybe if you count online relationships, an online relationship with someone he hasn't even seen the picture of when I was in high school, then there you go, dude. I think it'll be great hearing my take on a relationship and what it should be like. Maybe the pros and the cons. Who else would you take your relationship advice from, huh? Someone who actually has one and is happy in it? Or from a man who hasn't had one since he was in middle school and has been alone since then? By choice. See, that's where you got to get them at. You say, I'm totally cool, I could get a relationship. I just choose not to be in one right now. That's when you put on the fucking sunglasses. You're like, yep, I'm pretty cool like that. But without further ado, I'd love to jump into this. Just kind of bibble about this. I asked it. I was like, give me topics to talk about the psychology of relationships. It said, hey, yo, you know what? Here's a long list for you, baby. I hope everyone who's listening to this doesn't mind it so much that I'm using AI. I know that's a controversial topic because it's like, man, why don't you fucking I don't know, use your brain cells, dipshit. But I don't know. Something, it's like if I looked up an article, it's like, how do I do good? All right. Well, we'll start at the very top, the science of attraction. So, here are some captivating topics to explore the psychology of relationships on your podcast. The science of attraction. Love at first sight, fact or fiction? Explore the biological and psychological factors that influence attraction. So, I actually had I had this kind of thing happen to me not too long ago. I found this new artist, and I was just so smitten. I was so smitten to be like, oh my gosh, this artist is so cool. Oh my god. I suppose it would be more like the parasocial aspect of me thinking that my relationship with that person is much more grander than it is, But I feel like that's a infatuation kind of thing. Like, by the way, that is what it's called when you have love at first sight. It's called infatuation. You are infatuated with someone. Basically, your levels of horny or love or whatever, they fucking peak because they're like, oh wow, that's so epic, You're not really thinking logically with your head at that point. You're just very you're doped up. Basically, your brain's like, hey, be pretty cool if you I don't know, got in a relationship with that person who's been badly abused, psychologically damaged, and is is clearly not very well mentally for a relationship right now. Go on, dude, do it. It basically, I guess to put it in more general terms, it's like the whole rose-colored glasses kind of thing. You don't see any of the red flags, But as I was saying, I've actually had this happen to me lately. Thanks for asking, by the way. I know everyone was asking. Everyone was just so desperate to be like, hey, Justy, you ever have this happen to you? I don't know. I guess I'll just tell you guys since you so badly want to listen to it. But yeah, I basically was like I wasn't fucking nuts, I wasn't like, we're the best of friends. Like, I know that I was probably just another fucking person to them. Kind of like how I see some people in my video game streams where I'm just like, oh, it's just another random nobody, right? Or someone who's probably just gonna fucking be here for the video game, and then once I start streaming something else, they're out of here, right? But maybe, that's the case with those people as well, is that they see me as someone who they're infatuated with, right? But that's how I felt about this artist, and I would show up to their stream and be like, really nice art, very good, crack some jokes and all that, try and get deeper, closer, if you would, into maybe developing a friendship. I think that's how some people see like celebrities or people they really like or are infatuated with, is that they're like, oh, dude, I could totally be their fucking best friend. I could be their lover, But the honest truth about it is that not really how it happens, You are a completely different person from them sometimes. Maybe sometimes just to get closer to them, you fake your honesty around them, You'll be like, yeah, I love World of Warcraft. Oh, sorry, I'm just a little sick. There's countless things that you could just be very, I don't know, disingenuous about, being very fake about it when it comes to trying to get closer to those people so you can be buddy, or maybe girlfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, bips. So I think it is fact as I just said, it is infatuation. In fact, this is kind of surface level, because why wouldn't they just use the word infatuation? Because that's a literal thing, It is literally, hey, um, just letting you know you're now in love with this person because they share some amount of qualities that you view as grand or beneficial, you know. Explore the biological and psychological factors that influence attraction. So I'm not too much on the biological side of it. What I'm understanding in that department is that it's physical features they may have or possess that might lead you to be more like, that's my woman, I don't know if anyone's ever had that kind of issue with like actual images of people online. Like I here's the thing, right? This should probably just be recalled the Terminally Online podcast, because I'm not speaking in terms of face-to-face interactions. I'm speaking in terms of digital interactions, right? And kind of processing it that way. We can do an IRL and off IRL, ORL, offline reality in real life versus in digital life. IDL, there you go. In digital life. So in real life, as well as on digital life. Fucking stupid. Basically, it depends on what you can see. It's you might be attracted to them based on many things, such as your preference upon skin color, teeth, hair, fucking boobie size, pec size, anything really. It's not limited to anything. That's basically it's not limited. Is what I'm trying to say. It's only limited to your preference. It's like you have an internal checklist in your brain, and a lot of people, it's their first encounter. So they're not taking in the whole. But do they have a good inner, what is it? Fucking Jesus, man. They're not taking in their personality. I don't know why I was struggling to say personality. Let me get some water, okay? Anyways, you're not taking in the personality side of them, but you have like a checklist in your brain that you're very attracted to. I wouldn't mind understanding that. Like, where does attraction come from? What are the prerequisites that your mind says, yes, me like this good? You know what I mean? From my experience, I believe it is childhood stuff. Like I've noticed a lot of people, like, because of what happened to them as a kid, therefore they go two ways. They can either go the, I don't like that, I'm going to go the complete opposite direction, or they will say, oh, this happened to me, I like that. Like, so there are some people who they were molested as a child, so now what they will do as an adult, in order to go the opposite direction of that, feeling powerless, they will want to be the dominant person in the relationship or in the sexual encounters, so that way they can feel like they have all of the control. This is basic psychological, psychology or psychological ideas, but it is basically like, hey, I was powerless then, but now I got power. It's good, Yeah, biological, I'm not too sure. Biological, it's just like, I don't know. There's synths, there's how they sound, how they look, If we do the five senses, right? So touch, I'm pretty sure all humans feel the same. I don't know. I haven't felt a stranger's touch for so long. Smell, pheromones can play some role into that, you know, but it's not really. I wouldn't imagine it's like the defining factor. Like, I don't know. Most people wear cologne and perfume nowadays, so it doesn't even really matter, you know. It's more of like, instead of a range of smell, it's more like smell good or smell bad. Sight. I think sight is the most important one that plays into love at first sight. Literally, the name of the fucking thing. Love at first sight. Hello, wake up. Hearing, of course, is important, I suppose. Like, if they talk like this and you're gonna want to be with them, you know, or you're getting infatuation, of course you probably don't want to hear this all the fucking time, you know. I think that also plays some part into the love at first sight. And taste. I'm not sure you can do that, you know. I'm not sure you can fucking taste them. So, best of luck with that, dude. That's basically all I have to say about that. I really like this. And like, I know it doesn't matter because it's my podcast. It's my podcast, right? But I have to say, I do enjoy being able to just bibble about this shit. You know, these questions are already prompted and they are designed for what I want to talk about. It feels like the bot knows me best, you know. Anyways, up next is why opposites attract or don't. Delve into the proclivity. Sorry, let me go. You know what? We'll even do it like this. We'll be real freaking stupid. we'll go ahead and do this. Text to speech free. What? Google, just let me do this. Oh, I don't want none of that, man. Try Google AI for free. Oh, I don't want to try Google AI. I want to fucking have you read the text to speech, idiot. Sorry, guys. You're gonna have to give me a moment. I promise the bit will be worth it, okay? 11 Labs, fucking people. Okay, so this what to do? We have Rachel, American influencer. Go ahead, Rachel. What was the thing that we just talked about, Rachel? Go ahead.
Love at first sight, fact or fiction. Explore the biological and psychological factors that influence attraction.
Oh, thank you. That is what we just talked about. Okay, now what are we about to talk about, Rachel? Rachel from 11labs.io.
Why opposites attract or don't. Delve into the propinquity effect and
Propinquity.
complementary versus similar partner preferences.
Propinquity? Let me go ahead and spell it out for all you viewers at home. It's PRPINQUITY. Propinquity.
Why opposites attract or don't. Delve into the propinquity effect.
Propinquity effect? What the fuck is this? Let me have a quick little look at this, shall we? The tendency of individuals to form close relationships with people they repeatedly encounter. That is, more often one comes into contact with another person, the more likely it is that one will form a friendship or romantic relationship with that person. What is this, like, surface level fucking shit, dude? Isn't that just like a fucking feeling of familiarity? Isn't that why they would be into making a relationship or friendship of some sort? Like that, you know? Like, No, duh, you're gonna fucking want to form a friendship with someone you see every day. Like, hello, am I stupid here? Is this supposed to be like some grand idea or something? Maybe I'm just being like a little shithead, and I'm like, ah, this is stupid. Oh, maybe I'm reading the wrong thing or something. Example. Students are more likely to become friends if they sit by each other in class, if they live next door to each other in a dormitory. What? What is this? This is stupid. Did it really need to be called the fucking hard to say word effect, like propinquity effect? It's literally just called interacting with other people. You think I'm gonna be friends with a random fucking person from India? No, I haven't interacted with them. What? Well, of course, people would want to be friends or form a relationship with people they interact with more likely than people they don't interact with. Do I even really need to go into depth about this and explain it? I will just in case, but basically it's like this. The more you interact with a person, the more you're probably going to be able to share the same feelings, the same ideas, the same thought process, or same interest. And that is why you would probably develop a relationship or friendship or whatever with them. You know, they're there to chit chat with you and be like, "Hey, yo, what's up, dude? How's it going, man?" You know, like I don't know. That seems very basic to me. Of course, people around you who you are much more available to access are going to be people that you find interest in. You know, like I don't know. If there's a well of water just like a few feet in front of me versus a well of water that's like across town, what the fuck am I? Why would I go to the one across town? Are you stupid? I suppose we could talk about this in the fact of like an existing friendship. So basically, it's like this, right? Get it like this, boys. Um, this could play into effect if you have had a long lasting friendship or relationship, but things change, you know? It's kind of like if you went to the same school with someone, they were like your best fucking friend, dude. But then you guys go to different schools, or say it's the end of high school, and you guys go your separate ways. You work in like Walmart and they work at a Target, okay? Completely different places. Get out of here, dude. You are more likely to develop friendships with the people who you are now going to be around for the rest of your life or until the end of your job, right? Versus being friends with that person still. Of course, it can still last, and there might be some amount of keeping that friendship alive. But of course, people are going to want to be friends with the people around them. You know, it again. I feel like I don't have to explain this too much. It's very basic. But that is an interesting way that it can happen. That you know, basically, even if you are best friends with someone, if they go and they hang out around other people who are more surrounding them, you know, like they are much more accessible or apparent, you know, of course they're going to want to be around them. Complementary versus similar partner preferences. I think there's a good amount of like, I don't know. I suppose it's connections when it comes to that. Uh, there are some things where people can agree fully with each other, but then I think those friendships or relationships are easily able to fall apart. You know what I mean? Like, if you had a clone of yourself, you wouldn't really want to be around that person. You know? You'd be like, okay, well, I'm glad we both like ice cream, but neither of us can really add to this experience, you know? Or, oh, you like The Binding of Isaac? Well, that's cool. I guess we can chat about it, but eventually I'm gonna get bored of this, you know? It's kind of the spice of life, if you will. People need a little bit of spice of life, you know, a little bit of something that's opposite of them or their belief or something like that in order for them to continue to be entertained by this relationship, right? Um, that's why it's good to get someone who shares core core beliefs, right? Um, but has different interests, you know, that you can listen to or learn about, you know. There's always the learning together versus learning um apart, separated, and just learning it by yourself, you know. I don't know. That sorry. That last part was getting a little fuffed. Basically what I'm trying to say is that um you know, complementary versus similar. Basically, if it's too similar, you'll get bored. If it's too, you know, opposing or complementary, I don't know. Complementary implies that it is good. You know, it is a good opposition, um, regardless. But if we're doing like opposite versus similar, if it's too similar, you'll get bored. Too opposite, you feel like your own interests are too offended by, you know, whatever they're biffling about. You know. Let's go ahead and go on to the next one. And we'll, you know, we gotta have our main girl, fucking Rachel, talk about this. Actually, you know what? We're done with the AI bit. I think I'll look up whatever confusing word comes into it comes up. The role of pheromones in attraction, which I think I discussed a little bit of. Discuss the science behind these chemical messages and their potential influence. So I have this crazy theory, right? And stop me if I'm wrong, but don't actually. I think synths can play quite a bit into um liking or not liking someone. Like, I'm not saying we're animals, but I think there is a little bit of a science to it, you know. I don't know if anyone remembers, but like a few months ago, there was like a lot of memes and a lot of a lot of topics surrounding apparently women dipping their fingers into their little coochie area, wiping up some of that residue, and then just kind of patting it on their shoulder or neck or anything like that, and being like, "Ah, yes, surely this will attract the man of my dreams," you know. And I believe in it. There's this like small, minute part of me that's like, that kind of does make sense, doesn't it? Though, like, we smell things, and if we like smell, we like smell, right? You know. Oh no, I like to think it plays at least a little bit of a role. Maybe not to that extent of like, you need to just grab your Gucci juices and just smear it on your fucking face. But I feel like people's natural smells does play a part into it, which, you know, that's why I suppose perfume or cologne is a little deceptive. It's like, isn't this a good smell that you like? Now you like me, right? You know, I think I think that's good, right? Not really. Um, I guess it's just like a good way to assure people that, hey, I'm a cool dude, but it doesn't even matter. Let's be honest, okay? Like, it matters to me because I feel like if I was around someone and they smelled like weird, you know, I'd be like, ugh, disgusting. I don't want to be around you. And I'm sure people have done the same thing to me where it's like, ugh, that man smells like a man. Get the fuck out of here. You know? Oh, it's tough, I suppose. But I truly do think it plays at least a little bit of a role into it. You know, I think the mass majority, of course, is the personality and the interest and all that. basically the main appetites, the main courses, but I think the appetizers are like synth, you know. It's all this other stuff. I think I know I keep going down the I think hole, but let me go ahead and just wrap it up with the saying that uh basically we are people, and I think our first encounter is look with our eyes, which mine are closed, uh smelling with our nose, hearing with our ears. You know, I think those are the three main, like, big hitters. Those are the approachable list. You know, are you approachable because you fit my visual criteria, my smelly criteria, and my hearing criteria? You know, if you do, then yeah, I'll get to know your personality. Then we can test that, dunk that in the fucking water, and see if it pops back out breathing, bitch. um, yeah, I think there's a bit of an influence. All right, we're on to a new chapter, everyone. We're on to a new freaking chapter. It's already half an hour in. Like, I feel good. I feel good right now. A little sleepy, but good. I might have to get a snack right in this podcast. Attachment styles and compatibility. Oh! Understanding attachment theory. Explain the different attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and their impact on relationships. Let's go understand attachment theory then, shall we? I'm learning about this as you guys are. All I can do is just give you my baby, you know? Attachment theory. An attachment theory is a psychological and evolutionary theory concerning relationships between humans. The most important tenet is that young children need to develop a relationship with at least one primary caregiver for their survival and for them to develop a healthy social emotional functioning. Attachment styles. Here we are. A little picture for me. Oh. Hold up. Where is it? It opened me up to a site. Hold up. Let me just open image and new. All right, here we go. So it gives me like a little fuff. Here, I'll show it on screen real quick. Where is it? Desktop capture, where are you? Yeah. Guess I have to do a new one. There it is. There it is. Attachment styles. We have positive model of others, negative model of self, negative model of others, positive model of self. So, the fuck does that mean? Low anxiety, low avoidance, high anxiety, high avoidance. Oh. So, secure, anxious, fearful, avoidant. So, I would say I land up here. Or maybe not. Well, yeah, I suppose it is because okay. I guess I'm understanding this, I suppose, which is that basically it depends on who you are and who the people around you are, you know. If you have positive model of others, like you have a good parent and a positive model of yourself, you'll be a secure little individual and you'll be like, "Oh, let me touch this woman I don't know." But if you have negative model of self and negative model of others, oh, you're fearful. I suppose this is interesting, I guess. Huh. I don't know. That's pretty cool. Around? Thank you. Sorry. Uh, I'm not too sure I understand it still. Is it basically saying that, I don't know. Attachment theory. Explain the different attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and their impact on relationship. But what is this? What are four concepts of secure, anxious, preoccupied, avoidant, dismissive, and disorganized? What? Propose that children attach to carers instinctively for the purpose of survival and ultimately genetic replication. What the fuck? Replication. How do people with attachment issues act? Signs of disorganized attachment issues typically include difficulty regulating emotions, including extreme mood swings, disassociation, and numbness, feeling overwhelmed and disconnected from one's feelings and needs, problems forming close relationships and trusting others. That last one sounds like me, but none of the other ones. Well, maybe the second one as well. Um, I'm not too sure I understand though. Like what? Like I'm getting two things. I'm getting that this is how children do things, and then I'm getting these are four different things that happen. But I'm not understanding the connection. Like, is it saying that the kids will turn out like this depending on like what going on? What's going on, man? Scholarly articles for attachment theory. Oh, thanks, Google, for these scholarly peer-reviewed articles. What is an insecure attachment? People with an insecure attachment style generally have trouble connecting emotionally. They can be aggressive or unpredictable toward their loved ones, a behavior rooted in the lack of consistent love and affection they experienced in childhood. See, that's what I'm talking about, baby. You know? I'm looking for why does this happen? You know? How is it that one of these happens and the other does not? Let me see if what else I can get about attachment, the affectional bonds, yeah. Behaviors. The attachment behavioral system serves as to achieve or maintain proximity to the attachment figure. That's kind of crazy, though. That's like crazy. That fucking the kids are basically like bioengineered to be like, okay, I gotta find the nearest thing and just emotionally connect to them right now, dude. Secure attachment. A toddler who is securely attached to his or her parent will explore freely while the caregiver is present. Typically engages with strangers, is often visibly upset when the caregiver departs, and is generally happy to see the caregiver return. The extent of exploration and of distress are affected, however, by the child's temperamental makeup and by situational factors as well as the attachment status. So that's secure attachment. This is anxious ambivalent. Anxious ambivalent attachment is a form of insecure attachment and is also misnamed as resistant attachment. In general, a child with an anxious ambivalent pattern of attachment will typically explore little in a strange situation and is often wary of strangers, even when the parent is present. When the caregiver departs, the child is often highly distressed, showing behaviors such as crying or screaming. The child is generally ambivalent when the caregiver returns. They're like, who gives a flying fuck, dude? The anxious ambivalent strategy is a response to unpredictably responsive caregiving and the displays of anger, ambivalent resistant C1, or helplessness, ambivalent passive C2, towards the caregiver on reunion can be regarded as a conditional strategy for maintaining the availability of the caregiver by preemptively taking control of the interaction. That's interesting because it kind of sounds like me. But I don't know. That would be like anxious avoidant and dismissive avoidant attachment. So this is like the third or fourth. No, I think. Anxious avoidant. An infant with an anxious avoidant pattern of attachment will avoid or ignore the caregiver, showing little emotion when the caregiver departs or returns. The infant will not explore very much regardless of who is there. Infants classified as anxious avoidant represented a puzzle in the early 1970s. They did not exhibit distress or separation and either ignored the caregiver on their return or showed some tendency to approach together with some tendency to ignore or turn away from the caregiver. That's interesting, dude. Avoidant infants was in fact a mask for distress, a hypothesis later evidenced through studies of the heart rate of avoidant infants. Infants are depicted as anxious avoidant when there is conspicuous avoidance of the mother in the reunion episodes, which is likely to consist of ignoring her altogether. Although there may be some pointed looking away, turning away, or moving away, if there is a greeting when the mother enters, it tends to be a mere look or a smile. Dude, they'd be psychoanalyzing these babies, be like, now, do they give you the look? Do they give you the look of like, hello? Disorganized / disoriented attachment. Beginning in 1983, Crittenden offered AC and yeah, I don't know if that's a part of it. I only read 3. It's the issue, unless some of those were like the other things. Pure anxious avoidant. So I guess I technically read them all. And the different attachment stuff, their impact on relationships. So I guess if you have a kid, you know. No, that second one kind of sounded like me, but I don't really remember being a baby or a toddler or anything like that. So I don't know if that kind of behavior still continues on to this day. Or maybe I was never like that, and then something happened along the way later that then now I am like this. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Sorry for that big bibble, all right? But I'll go ahead and explain it. Simple terms, baby. Cha-chink. Right? Basically what they're saying is that ways that you are as a child might influence how you act nowadays. So maybe if you were an anxious little baby, you will be very attached to whoever you come across, and you will be basically emotionally inept when you don't receive that attention or when they leave or anything like that. Which, I don't know. I think there's some different qualities that happen along the way. If this is meaning purely as in like a babies or whatever, then yeah, I don't know. I tried looking into this. You know, you just watched me do it, but I still don't really understand it. You know what I mean? Like I understand it a little bit, but now I'm even further interested as like why does that happen? You know? I know they said like on and off parenting will cause that to happen, but it seems like the third one, the avoidant one, just happens because of like the baby's just built wrong, you know? You're built wrong. Let's go ahead and go with the dance of attachment styles. Discuss how different attachment styles can interact and create challenges or opportunities in relationships. I don't really care, dude. I don't. I suppose different attachment styles could be pretty fucked. Because, and again, this is assuming this is like modern day people, which again, I feel like, you know, that's not entirely a good point to be at. Like, I don't know. I feel like some people, it's along the way they get fucked up, not like right out of the gate. That'd be horrible. Could you imagine being like, I don't know, they wouldn't diagnose you for this shit, but imagine finding out like, I don't know, your parent comes in and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you know, when you were being raised, they said something about you having like an avoidant attachment personality or something like that. Yeah, fuck them liberals, you know. And then it kind of, I don't know. Let me just get a little sidetracked right there. That's such a horrible thing, right? It is basically saying you were broken from the very beginning, dude. Lol, die. You know, you were always broken. You were always fucked up this way. And Lamau, you're going to be like that for the rest of your life. If you are already like that currently, that's just how you are. That's how you're going to be for the rest of your life. I don't know. Something about that strikes to my core, you know? It's the inability of change, I suppose. I've talked about it on the podcast before about like how I feel like as long as you can change or develop in some sort of aspect, then you should never feel down about your situations or feel down about things that you have done in the past that you are, trying to work on. At least when it comes to like relationships, emotional attachments, anything like that. But to know this, it's kind of like, what is it? I had a fucking freak out over a different thing. It was those letters. The fucking INFJ. I think that's what I am. That fucked me up as well. It's like, I don't know. It's like you are trying to break free of the machine and you just can't get out. You know what I mean? Like, to know that you were always built like this and that there is nothing you can do, you are now permanently stuck as this. It's like boxing in a fucking animal. It's like cornering an animal, you know what I mean? There's no amount of change that you can do. But, anyways, sorry for the sidetrack. Apologies for that. Because how different attachment styles can interact and create challenges or opportunities in relationships. So, I'm kind of seeing it as like, maybe the only good one is the secure one. Like, I don't know. Can we, let's not beat around the bush, okay? Let's not be like, oh, well, anxious might provide some outlooks on like this, Let's be honest, like the secure one sounds the best. Like you are confident within yourself and you are confident about the people around you. Therefore, you will be, a confident person, someone that people would like to strive to be, sorry. I mean, if I really wanted to humor the other side of this, of like, oh, well, what about these other kind of attachment styles? Let's riddle these, shall we? The anxious one might be able to provide some amount of like, they're gonna be loyal to you because they are so fearful of losing you that they will have outbursts or anything like that. And typically, people wish to avoid an outburst. That they will try and be loyal to you at least. The avoidant one, from what I read, it kind of just seems like a ultra negative. Like maybe you can always depend on that person to be independent, but again, we kind of read towards the end that it is just a mask to cover up their distress. So it's pretty much like the anxious type, but they're not open to showing it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess those are some qualities. I guess I don't know. Finding compatibility beyond attachment styles. Explore other factors like values, communication styles, and life goals that contribute to a strong bond. So I think that's like the number one important thing. But before we get into that, I have an ad read. Just kidding. I'd like to go and look at the attachment styles one more time and see if I can really hone in and figure it out. There we go. See, here's a helpful article. Attachment styles and how they affect adult relationships. Having relationship problems, they could be caused by the attachment style you developed as an infant. See, this is what I wanted the whole time. By understanding insecure attachment styles such as anxious attachment or avoidant attachment, you can build stronger, healthier connections. And see, that's what I like to hear, is that despite what you may have been given at the start, you can still change and become a better person. What are attachment styles? Let's see. Attachment styles or types reflect how you behave in a romantic relationship and are based on the emotional connections you formed as an infant with your primary caregiver, often your mother. According to attachment theory, pioneered by British psychiatrist. Okay, let's just throw the whole fucking theory out then. Anyways, British psychiatrist John Bowlby, and American psychologist Mary Ainsworth The quality of bonding you experienced during this first relationship often determines how well you relate to other people and respond to intimacy throughout life. Dude, that's so fucked up. I hate this. That is so fucked. To imagine something as your fucking first, like the first fucking few weeks of your life will determine how fucking weird you are in high school or how weird you are around women, you know? Oh no, that's like some, oh no, that's fucked. I'm writing this down in my core beliefs right now that this is more terrifying than like eldritch horrors or fucking zombies, whatever. Fuck that shit. This is like the deep cutting edge, like, what the fuck? This is disgusting. You know? If your primary caretaker made you feel safe and understood as an infant, if they were able to respond to your cries and accurately interpret your changing physical and emotional needs, then you likely developed a successful, secure attachment. Dude, that is so fucked. Don't even say that, dude. Like, what? As an adult, that usually translates to being self-confident, trusting, and hopeful with an ability to healthily manage conflict, respond to intimacy, and navigate the ups and downs of romantic relationships. Dude, stop! That is such a fucked up thing to read. Like, again, like, I don't know. It's like if someone fucking broke your legs at the beginning. Like, in a fucking imaginary force broke your fucking legs right as you were as a baby, right? And you grew up and then you finally were like, oh, I wish I could have walked this whole time. And then this fucking article is just like, oh, by the way, maybe if you were just built a little different, maybe if people treated you a little differently as a little tiny baby, maybe you would have been successful and not such a fuck up in life. You wanna know what's funny? I was talking with my mom earlier, and basically, she was talking about fucking, what was it? She was talking about her brother or my uncle. She was like, oh yeah, you know, he basically said, you know, you shouldn't go to a psychologist or go to therapy because they can oftentimes make the situation worse. And I argued on psychology's fucking point of being like, no, you got to understand that it may hurt at first, but at least you're learning. You're able to lay out the groundwork, you know, despite what they may bring up or, you know, make you understand. You know, you are now free to make that choice and to try and improve from it, right? But reading this, it makes me want to fucking die. Yeah, that's fucked. If you experience confusing, frightening, or inconsistent emotional communication during infancy, though, and see, this is where I fucking break down in tears. If your caregiver was unable to consistently comfort you or respond to your needs, you're more likely to have experienced an unsuccessful or insecure attachment. Infants with insecure attachment often grow into adults who have difficulty understanding their own emotions and the feelings of others, limiting their ability to build or maintain stable relationships. As an adult with an insecure attachment style, you may find it difficult to connect to others, shy away from intimacy, or be too clingy, fearful, or anxious in a relationship. In other words, you have a secure attachment style. Yeah, I think someone fucked up there. I think they meant to type insecure attachment style. Of course, experiences that occur between infancy and adulthood can also impact and shape your relationships. Thank you. Thank you. However, the infant brain is so profoundly influenced by the attachment bond, understanding your attachment style can offer vital clues as to why you may be having problems in your adult relationships. Dude, that is so fucked. Do you behave in puzzling or self-destructive ways when you're in a close relationship? Do you repeatedly make the same mistakes over and over in a romantic relationship? Do you struggle to form meaningful connections in the first place, dating the wrong people over and over? Interesting. Whatever relationship problems you're experiencing, it's important to know that your brain remains capable of change throughout life. By identifying your specific attachment style, you can learn to challenge your insecurities, develop a more securely attached way of relating to others, build stronger, healthier, and more fulfilling relationships. Wow. The influence of attachment styles on adult relationships. Nah, we already understand that basically if you're a fuck up, you're a fuck up, dude. uh, Understanding how your attachment style shapes and influences your intimate relationships can help you make sense of your own behavior or how you perceive your partner and how you respond to intimacy. Largely shaped by the infant primary caregiver connection, especially during its first year. It's important to note that the strength of attachment is not based solely on the level of parental love or the quality. Yeah. Bibble babble. The 4 different attachment styles: secure attachment style, anxious or ambivalent attachment style, avoidant dismissive attachment style, and disorganized attachment style. So I'm just gonna read the little blips, okay? Because we've already spent so long on this. But so for the secure one on adult relationships, you appreciate your own self-worth and you're able to be yourself in an intimate relationship. You're comfortable expressing your feelings, hopes, and needs. You find satisfaction in being with others, openly seek support and comfort from your partner, but don't get overly anxious when the two of you are apart. You're similarly happy for your partner to rely on you for support. You're able to maintain your emotional balance and seek healthy ways to manage conflict in a close relationship. When faced with disappointment, setbacks, and misfortune in your relationships, as well as other parts of your life, you're resilient enough to bounce back. God damn. God damn. Sorry. See what the anxious one is. Anxious attachment style in adult relationships. You want to be in a relationship and crave feelings of closeness and intimacy with a significant other, but you struggle to feel that you can trust or fully rely on your partner. Being in an intimate relationship tends to take over your life and you become overly fixated on the other person. You may find it difficult to observe boundaries, viewing space between you as a threat, something that can provoke panic, anger, or fear that your partner no longer wants you. A lot of your sense of self-worth rests on how you feel about being treated in a relationship, and you tend to overact to any perceived threats to the relationship. You feel anxious or jealous when away from your partner and may use guilt, controlling behavior, or other manipulative tactics to keep them close. You need constant reassurance and lots of attention from your partner. Others may criticize you for being too needy or clingy. You may struggle to maintain close relationships. Dude, that's fucked. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? Like, I can't say, for any relationship that I may have, especially if it's a romantic one, but I've seen this in other people that I personally know. We'll go ahead and finish up on the avoidant, because I don't think anyone has this organized one. No one has that, obviously. Sorry. Again, I don't want to be too much on this topic, but it's very interesting to learn. Like, just understanding that this one thing has affected your life, I don't know, to me it's very brutal. It's like, again, my main struggle with this topic that I'm now learning about, we're learning about shit on here. That's right, you only learn on Within the Flesh, episode 34. My main issue is that it's very much like, before you're even able to fucking comprehend or read or do anything like that, you're already fucked right out of the gate, dude. Like, it's kind of understandable to see why some people are like, I hate my fucking parents. I hate them. They made me like this. Now it kind of seems real, Like, for me, it's very much, I've always been the type that's like, well, you know what? you were dealt a bad hand, but fucking you gotta do something about it, or just shut up, dude. But now it's like, okay, I can kind of see your point. Maybe if your parent was a bit more attentive to you, maybe you would have been normal. That's just so fucked, though. That's so fucked. I don't know. For me, that feels like such a random thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Again, it's like someone stealing your foreskin when you're a little baby. You know? It's a decision made before you could even understand what the fuck's going on. Now your whole rest of your life is ruined. You know? You're an independent person, content to care of. Sorry, I should go ahead and say that this is the avoidant attachment style. You're an independent person, content to care for yourself and don't feel you need others. Ooh. The more someone tries to get close to you, or the needier a partner becomes, the more you tend to withdraw. What? You're uncomfortable with your emotions, and partners often accuse you of being distant and closed off, rigid and intolerant. In return, you accuse them of being too needy. See, I don't know about that so far. Well, we'll have to see. I gotta get a girlfriend first. You're prone to minimize or disregard your partner's feelings, keep secrets from them, engage in affairs, and even in relationships in order to regain your sense of freedom. Oh, that's fucking crazy. I haven't done any of that. Just listen, I'm a good guy, okay? Good guy, good thoughts. Thank you. You may prefer fleeting, casual relationships to long-term intimate ones, or you seek out partners who are equally independent, ones who will keep their distance emotionally. I'll be honest, that does kind of sound hot to me. Like having I don't know, is that so fucked up though? You want a relationship where that person can be independent, regardless if I'm there or not, you know? Like, it's good to have someone who is there that I can be attached to and who wants to be attached to me. But is it so wrong for that? I guess they're not really saying anything like you're a bad person if you're like this. You're bad. But I think we all, as a grown-up society, as a people who are grown-ups, I think we can all understand that basically having these kinds of views or outlooks means you're a bad person. You know, society has deemed these qualities bad or not good. You know what I mean? Which, fair enough. Maybe cheating on your partner or trying to basically break off a relationship, fair enough. But I feel like in terms of preference of like long-term intimate ones, or having that like you have to be very close, very lovey-dovey with each other. I don't know, maybe that's just my baby brain all the way back in like when I was born in 1999. Maybe that's my baby brain talking, and it's like, no, you see, we're good. We're very avoidant, you know. Well, you may think you don't need close relationships or intimacy. The truth is, we all do. Humans are hardwired for connection, and deep down, even someone with an avoidant, dismissive attachment style wants a close, meaningful relationship. If only they could overcome their deep-seated fears of intimacy. Dude, shut the fuck up. Fuck you, dude. I'm like reading a fucking Discord messages or something like that, private DMs, and I'm just like, you know what? Fuck you, dude. You're a fucking piece of shit, dude. I guess we'll finish up on the disorganized / disoriented attachment style, which I think is like, you know, if we're thinking of this of like mental health illnesses, you know, it's like you have the normies, right? You have the I'm rigid. Then you have the anxiety level, depression level that's like, oh, you know, you're pretty fucked, but at least you're pretty normal, kinda. You're a simi, you're halfway there. And then you got the schizophrenia. schizophrenia level of like, you're fucked. You're just fucked, dude. The end. You're trash. You probably find in intimate relationships confusing and unsettling, often swinging between emotional extremes of love and hate for a partner. You may be insensitive towards your partner, selfish, controlling, and untrusting, which can lead to explosive or even abusive behavior. And you can be just as hard on yourself as you are on others. You may exhibit antisocial or negative behavior patterns, abuse alcohol or not abuse alcohol or drugs, or prone to aggression or violence. Others may despair at your refusal to take responsibility for your actions. While you crave the security and safety of a meaningful, intimate relationship, you also feel unworthy of love and terrified of getting hurt again. Your childhood may have been shaped by abuse, neglect, or trauma. Ooh. So this is what I'm thinking. Yeah. Just bibbling all this shit at me. Tip 1, improve your nonverbal communication skills. So basically, understand people when they're fucking bibbling at you. Maybe be like, oh, I can understand how me being like, this means like I'm annoyed or threatening versus like, oh, hello. Let's see. Tip 2, boost your emotional intelligence. Self-management, self-awareness, social awareness, relationship management. Tip 3, develop relationships with people who are securely attached. Securely attached? Fuck you, dude. I fucking knew it! I knew it! Did I say at the, fucking beginning of the fucking, when I looked into this, I said, oh, turns out there's 3 to 4 different things, right? It was that graph I was showing off. That fucking graph is basically like, hey, by the way, just letting you know, secured people, they're basically God. They're basically better than you. Fuck you, right? And that's what this literally just told me. It literally just said, what's that? You're fucked? Find someone who isn't. Lol. It's not a fix it yourself issue. These people are lying. It's not a fix it yourself issue at all. I feel like this is those fucking WikiHow pages, or how sometimes you'll have your PC fucking is shitting itself, right? And you're like, how to fix PC? And all these different websites, they're all the fucking same, okay? They'll list try restarting your computer. All right, go check out the BIOS. Oh, go check out the system files. Right? And then the third to end is always the fucking same, and it's always the correct answer. And it's basically reinstall Windows, you're fucked. Right? And that's basically what this fucking thing is saying. That's what I'm understanding. Maybe I'm baby man head mode right now, but I'm so fucking mad right now. I'm mad because of this one tip. It's not a fix it yourself. It's a, you have to be clung on to someone in order for you to be fixed. Let me read this out just in case. Maybe it's not saying that. I'm gonna give it the fair chance and read it fully. Tip 3, develop relationships with people who are securely attached. Being in a relationship with another person who also has an insecure attachment style can make for a union that's out of sync at best, rocky, confusing, or even painful at worst. While you can work through your insecurities together as a couple, if you're single, it can help to look for a partner with a secure attachment style to help shift you away from the negative patterns of thinking and behaving. A strong, supportive relationship with someone who makes you feel loved can play an important part in building your sense of security. Estimates vary, but research suggests that 50 to 60% of people who have a secure attachment style, But research suggests that 50 to 60% of people people have a secure attachment style. So there's a good chance of finding a romantic partner who can help you overcome your insecurities. Similarly, developing strong friendships with these individuals can also help you recognize and adopt new patterns of behavior. Sorry. I'm not crying, but my nose was stuffy. That is such a fucked thing to say, though, right? I don't know. Like I get it, right? I'm in the wrong mindset. I'm in the fucked mindset of like, you have to be independent. You have to be a big boy and solve your own issues, right? I understand it, but don't fucking lie to people. Don't be like, oh, you can fix it yourself. You can do it. You can do good. You know, I understand that therapy and like all this other shit, it's very much, you know, people around you have to help you. You can't do it yourself. I understand that. It's just I don't appreciate being lied to, being like, well, you know, you can fix it yourself if you believe. Just fucking tell people, hey, you're fucked up. The only way to fix it is to have someone else do it for you. Lamau. And what a horrible thing, by the way, of like, it's, I'm gonna be a leech. I'm gonna be a leech on this person, and I'm going to take what they have, the secure attachment, and I'm gonna fucking milk it. I'm gonna suck on that shit, dude. You know? I don't know. Man, that sucks. At least I'm understanding. I'm learning stuff, you know? As much as I'm not liking it, because now I'm learning that turns out maybe you were a fuck up your whole life, and the only way to not have that be bad anymore is by finding a non fuck up. But by the way, you know, finding a non fuck up partner and them being like, oh yeah, I like you. Yeah, right, dude. Shut the fuck up. Like, you fucking saw what it said. It was like, yeah, you might be emotionally manipulative. You might be emotionally distant. You think anyone's gonna be like, I'm a very secure relationship and I like that, you know? anyways, yeah, that's the attachment style and compatibility. Bit fucked up, but at least I learned shit, dude. Man, that's ruined my whole night. That ruined my whole weekend. That ruined my whole life. I'll have to debate and think about that a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit of a thinking time on that one. We are on the... Buff, I didn't realize how many categories this came with. It literally has so much shit. I should have just fucking skipped that thing. We are on to the power of communication. Oh, the power of communication. Whoa! I should have just saved all this shit for like mini podcast episodes, you know? The power of communication. Nonverbal communication. What you're saying without words. Discuss how body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice impact communication. This just kind of feels like another fiffle faffle, another, like, okay, we understand, we already get it, dude. Like, if I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Yeah? Well, sorry your day was bad. Oh, cool. Anyways. Yeah. Uh-huh. Cool. You can probably tell I'm like irritated or annoyed, right? Or maybe even possibly angry at you, right? That tone of like no emotion removed means, hey, probably don't like you for some unknown reason. I'm not gonna tell you, right? I don't know. This is literally, sorry, I'm very tired. But this is literally just baby talk. Like, imagine being such a baby that you can't understand like body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice and how it impacts communication. Like, listen to how I'm talking right now. Like, this is usually how I talk. It's just like a normal talking voice, but it's sort of monotone, I suppose. And, I'm just trying to talk more about whatever, so that way you can get a proper sample of what my voice is like. That's what it sounds like most of the time when I'm not making a video or streaming or something like that. It's very monotone. It's down, it's middle. So I think in that regard, people can think that I don't really care about what they're talking about, or I'm not interested, or that, I don't know. There's no emotional attachment to that sort of voice. So there's no way to tell if someone is becoming interested, angry about it, sad about it, whatever. There's nothing there. It's just a normal tone of voice, right? So I think at least in that part, when it's about me, Jubby, uh, that's why I use such weird language sometimes. Like, you can ask a lot of people that I chat with, uh, and I'm basically like, oh yeah, bibble babble, yep, oh, okay, yeah, that's a big brown right there, or something like that, right? Complete nonsense talk. But I think that helps to alleviate any amount of concern that people have regarding my monotone voice. It's kind of like, you know, it's like if we're doing like the primal brain, like a caveman brain. It's like if a caveman was like, yeah, me happy, me like, me good, like, it's not in their tone of voice, but they're at least expressing like something that can relate to that feeling of happiness or joy or whatever. Maybe I'm going a little too psychoanalytical on this, but maybe that's it. Facial expressions, again, monotone face. I like to have what I call a brick face, which is basically, I'm just chatting. I'm just looking at you, and I'm not gonna smile. I'm not gonna frown. I'm not gonna do anything. This is just how it looks. Like it has a, again, neutral, no emotion in the voice, no emotion in the face. No, but when I'm on stream, I'll be like, whoa, 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 or something like that. But in my natural way, I just don't express, which I imagine can also make people, I don't know. I have hair right now, right? Good hair, good time. But when I don't have hair, I look bald, right? Or here, let me go get a picture of me without hair, maybe like a few years younger, so that way people can be like, "Wow, what a good-looking guy." Um, Basically, when I don't have hair, like, could you imagine this guy coming up to you and having like a monotone face? Like, imagine that little smirk right there is gone, and it's just eyebrow, bald head. People, I feel, are threatened by it. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's not something that I want. That's just my neutral face of like, I'm just, I suppose it would be like an unimpressed face or something like that. It's just neutral, but because of that look, it probably gives off that I'm not a friendly guy, which is kind of sad, but I don't blame people for that. A lot of the times we make choices dependent on looks. Again, what I was talking about earlier, the main three: smell, hearing, and sight. Most importantly, sight. We base our, should I interact with this person upon that. And then body language. Body language, basically, aka, I'm just putting my hands on my hips, being like, hey, right? This, and especially if I put out my chest a little bit, it might be a little intimidating if you're like this high or something. Whereas if I'm very casual and laid back, people feel more laid back and more casual about it. If I'm like hunched over like this, maybe I'm a little bit more defensive. Maybe I'm a little aggressive. I don't know. It's however you're seeing it, you know? But I think that's how most people see it. Well, not just what I think it is. I think this is like, if you're like this, usually means like, hey, I don't want to be talked to, or, get the fuck away from me. Okay. Next one is active listening, the key to understanding your partner. Explore techniques for truly listening and validating your partner's emotions. I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite. You guys want to know how to do some fake listening? Basically, what you have to do in order to basically get rid of any kind of issue with communication, just like don't do it too many times. I'll give you like a little sheet of ideas, but basically repeat questions that they may ask, or not questions that they may ask, but things that happen. Like if someone's like, yeah, I went to the store today and someone knocked over my apple in my cart, and I was so fucking mad about it. Right? They keep talking about it, right? All you have to do really is be like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. So they like, why did they knock over the apple in your cart? And then they're like, I don't know. I can't stand people. People are, right? You just keep doing it. You express some emotion, usually regret or sorrow or whatever like that. And then you just tell, hey, question about this? And then they'll go into it. Everyone loves to be asked questions when they're into it. Of course, you have to be somewhat aware, somewhat cognate, Because if you're just like, if they're like, yeah, I went to the store today and they knocked over the apple in my cart and I just can't believe people, right? And instead of saying, oh, why'd they knock over the apple in your cart? Instead, if you're like, why'd you go to the store today? You might be in serious hot water, dude. Okay? I'm just saying. Because at that point, they already expressed that they had an apple in their cart, right? So you should have fucking paid attention to that. Bip with the apple. They'll probably get mad at you, or maybe they'll be like, oh, well, I went there for groceries. I mean, were you listening? You have to be very careful with where you position your questions. Usually it's around high impact points is what I like to call them in conversations, which is something that people will focus around or make sure to point out exactly, be like, well, this is what happened to me and this is why I'm angry, and then you just surround that topic and you just ask random fucking questions. You just say, oh, how does that make you feel? Do you think he had it coming? I mean, active listening, like literally that, if you want true active listening, that's basically it. You basically tell someone, you say, hey, you talk about the conversation that they want to talk about. I can't give too much advice about this. Like, I know how it works and I've done it for all my fucking life. But I just don't fucking care about it anymore, you know what I mean? It's basically just listening to what the person is talking about and being a part of it. You know what I mean? You're actually trying to understand what they're trying to talk about, or trying to relate to the feeling that they are, putting out there. You're trying to understand their point of view or their story or what the fuck they're talking about. But again, I'm already done with that type of shit at my point in life, right? Like, I'll still actively listen to people when I find the topic is equal in interest to both of us. But if someone's talking about like how they ROM hacked their fucking, I don't know, their fucking Nintendo, I don't care. Why? Why would I care? Maybe that should be the next podcast fucking question. Maybe Google Gemini can answer that much. How to tell someone you don't fucking care about what they're talking about. And I know, okay, I know all you little sweethearts out there are like, oh my god, how can he say something like that? That's so mean. But let's be honest here, people. Sometimes people just don't want to listen to your mundane bullshit. Okay? I'm sorry. Your life isn't as interesting as you think it is. Maybe if you're like, oh yeah, I just got off the plane and dude, it was a crazy trip in Alberta. I don't know, fucking made up land. Then maybe people are interested. They're willing to listen, okay? But if you're talking about how your fucking dog just took a poop on the floor, and this is a common occurrence, we've already talked about it, right? Then maybe people don't care and they have that right to not care, okay? Because you're not providing something that's actually something that you can talk about, okay? You're holding those people hostage. Fuck you. Sorry. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure that all the soft hearts out there understood that, I don't know, as much as you like to be listened to, you should also understand that there's some people who don't want to listen. You know what I mean? And for all those people that, okay, I'm getting into like the argumentative side of this podcast, but I'm like making straw men as well, which is not good. But I'm just saying that there's a lot of people out there that I've encountered that are like, oh my God, how could you say that you don't want to listen to someone? Would you rather me just be an inactive listener? Do you want me to be like, oh, cool. Yeah, that's nice. Cool, dude. Listening takes effort. Okay? Sorry if I don't have that effort to listen to you and your fucking repetitive story, dude. Sorry. You know? I'm just saying. I think that's the big issue. Like if I'm a management of resources and you're fucking sucking it up and then you get mad at me, fuck you. Sorry. Anyways. But yeah, active listening is basically you are there in the conversation, you are participating in it, you are not just receiving it, you are bouncing it back and forth, right? Let's prompt a little simple story, okay? Someone talks to you about, hey, I took my cat to the vet today and it was pretty good. Oh, what did you take your cat in for? Was the vet nice? How were there any other cool pets there or anything like that? Something like that, And then they say, I just took him in because I wanted to make sure he was A-okay. The vet was pretty cool, very good time. There were so many cool animals, cool, right? Whichever one they viewed or talked more about, then you go with that option and you say, oh, you like your cat, fantastic. What kind of cat was what kind of cat is that as well? You know what, let me just go ahead and look at this real quick. Let me make sure I'm talking about this fucking correct shit. I don't want to be proven wrong. Active listening requires you to listen attentively to a speaker, understand what they're saying, respond and reflect on what's being said, and retain the information for later. This keeps both the listener and speaker actively engaged in the conversation. There you go. It's literally what I just said. You have to just chit-chat. So here's the 6 key active listening skills, if you would like to know what they are. This is from a Google search, first image. Go look up active listening on Google. It's the first image. You're welcome. Pay attention, withhold judgment, reflect, clarify, summarize, share. There you go. Be a good active listener, asshole. Pay attention, So basically, just be there, listen, cool, withhold judgment. If they say, yeah, I want to fuck a dog, don't immediately just be like, what the fuck's wrong with you, dude? Fucking, you deserve to be in jail. Reflect, possibly be like, that makes me realize something about myself. Clarify. Hey, did you mean that stuff you said about fucking a dog? What? Summarize. So, in total, basically what you said was, you want to fuck a dog? What? Share. Hey, I don't want to do that. I don't feel comfortable with you anymore. Goodbye. Oh, man. Okay. Moving on. The Gottman Institute Communication Methods discuss research-based approaches for effective communication in relationships. Let's go learn something else that's gonna ruin my whole fucking night. Gotham Institute. What now? Fuckers. What are the 7 principles of the Gottman method? Oh, here we are, everybody. From flourishingpsychology.ca. Gottman's 7 principles of making marriage work. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Sharing love maps. Nurturing fondness and admiration. Turning toward each other instead of away. Letting your partner influence you. I don't know about that. Solving your solvable problems. Dude, shut up! I'm sorry, okay? Let me just go to the fucking Google images and see what I can fucking do with this instead. There's so many different things, though. What? There's so many different. The Sound Relationship House. Sorry. I'm just kind of looking at this and being like, what the fuck is this? Here, let me show you guys. Display capture. Look at this fucking thing, huh? What the fuck? Build love maps. Know one another's world. Wow. The walls are trust and commitment. Share fondness and admiration. Turn towards instead of away. The positive perspective. Manage conflict. Accept your partner's influence. Let the mind control you. A dialogue about problems. Practice self-soothing. Make life dreams come true. Create shared meaning. Sound relationship house. So I suppose if we want to talk about this, we'll talk about this. Fine, whatever. I'll use your little fucking JPEG of a house to discuss this. Build love maps. I don't know what the fuck a love map is, dude. I suppose it's like your goals and your desires. But then again, that's like a different one. What was it? Make life dreams come true? Let me go look up what a love map is. Sorry, guys. I don't know most of this shit. Love maps. Here we are. See, it literally brought up the thing I just looked at. Build love maps. Why love maps are so important. What the fuck is a love map? Hello? What is this? The research found that emotionally intelligent couples are intimately familiar with each other's worlds. This is having a richly detailed love map. The term for that part of your brain where you store all personally important information about your partner's life. These couples made plenty of cognitive room in their minds of relationship. They remember the major events in each other's histories, and they keep updating their information as the facts and feelings of their spouse's world change. They know each other's goals in life, worries, and dreams. Without such a love map, you can't know your partner. Cool, dude. AKA, it's a checklist, okay? It's a, what is it? Check-in something. Check-in boundary, no. Trying to fucking remember the name. I don't know, dude. It's basically a checklist. It's a query. It's a list that you update. Does my partner still like chocolate ice cream? Let's find out. Hey, partner, do you want this chocolate ice cream top? No, I don't don't like chocolate. Oh, okay. Does not like chocolate ice cream anymore. Need to find out what new favorite ice cream is. There you go. Summarized it for you. It's basically, you know, it's like a Tinder profile if you think about it. It's like a dating profile. You basically learn that shit and you update it, you know, with like, hey, what's up, dude? Or maybe you say some kind of funny joke like, oh, I shitted myself. Haha, right? And they go, ugh, right? Then you learn and you're like, oh, they no longer like that, I guess. Share fondness and admiration. So I'm guessing that is like you are literally, hey, I freaking love the way you bowled. I love how you rolled that ball on the fucking thing and it went into the fucking pins. So cool, dude. Basically saying, hey, I love you. You're such a cool person. I fucking love you, you know? I think that's good. Turn towards instead of away. So, I'm gonna guess that's it. Let me see if that page had how to build love maps. Now on. 7 principles to make. No, wait. Sound relationship house. Here we are. Foundation. Before foundation is poured, there is a lot of work to do. The site must be great. No one cares, dude. What is this? They're talking about like actual fucking houses. I just want. Okay, here's the big thing, okay? All right, everyone. If it's this difficult to fucking find what the fuck these people are talking about, maybe don't listen to this part of the podcast, okay? Like, if it is this fucking difficult to find what the fuck they mean by build a love map, right? Maybe don't fucking listen to this. This is all just bibble babble fucking nonsense, right? And it seems like this is all just sales or something. Store, let's see how much they're fucking charging for this, huh? Sorry. Clinical Foundations and Gottman Method Couples Therapy. Join the thousands of clinicians worldwide who have completed level 1 and 2 training in Gottman Method. It's a fucking cult, dude. It's a fucking cult. No fucking way, dude. Dude, you're so fucked. You're so fucked, dude. That is so fucked. Oh my god. Look at this. Look at this. Hold up. You want to see something? You want to see a cult, everybody? Here we are. Da-da-da-da. $600 for this, everybody. What's it? Well, you will learn, predict, and improve relationship stability using research-based strategies, guiding couples, conduct comprehensive assessments to tailor therapy. Is this what they're paying you? Level 1, level 2. What? If this is what they're paying you, then fine, but I particularly enjoyed the excellent clinical films and found them especially useful in understanding the assessments and interventions that were taught. Okay, I want to know if any of these people who bought this, if their relationship is still going on right now. That is so fucking crazy, dude. Holy shit. Just fucking say the relationship is over at this point, you know? Relationship advisor. Lessons in love. That is so fucking sad. The art and science of love virtual. Oh man, I am. Dude, why did I do this podcast? Dude, I was streaming a video game, right? And Ben, hey Ben, you listening to this, right? He brought it up. He's like, been a while since podcast. What happened to podcasts? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do not only one, but 2 of them. Bibble Babble is after this. But holy shit, is this ruining my night? This is horrible, dude. That is so fucking tragic. It's not tragic as like, what fucking losers? What, you have to pay to fucking learn how to love? It's more tragic that people are being taken advantage of by these fucking cretins, these leeches upon society, where they're like, pay us money. We'll fix your relationship good. That's so fucking disgusting. That is so disgusting. It's like, I don't know. Like, I guess for me, it might be different for me, like, because again, you're listening to a single man talk about these relationship issues, but, I don't know, man. I don't know. If, like, it's not so much if your partner doesn't want to work it out with you, then fucking dump their ass, right? Or like, what, $600? Fuck your partner, dude. Fuck them. But it's like if you're at that point where you're willing to spend $600 on making it work, it probably won't. Or like, I don't know. Fucking crazy. I don't think that even comes with an actual therapist. How much does actual therapy cost? That's my question. If it's like more than that, dude, what the fuck? Like, maybe like I got a very fucked perceptive about money, right? You give me $100, I'm like, oh my fucking god, I'm gonna cry, right? That's like crazy to me, right? But you do it like, I don't know, maybe that's normal or something like that. I feel like it's not though. $600 for a fucking book or videos on how to improve your relationship? It's like, dude, what the fuck? Sorry, I'm going in a circle. And I don't like circles. Fuck you, circles. I'm not going into the Gottman thing anymore. Not if they have that kind of shit. Like maybe their fundamentals are good of like, oh, this is how a relationship is best worked together. But this feels more like the Gemini bot being like, hey, Google was paid by these people to promote them a lot more. So if there's any psychology, relationship issues, maybe go check them out. Whoa! You know. That's just fucked. Anyways, we're going to the next chapter, everybody. Conflict resolution and healthy fights. Ooh, baby. Man, do people abuse this whole fucking thing. I'm not even reading the questions yet, but I know people who are like, oh yeah, it's okay that I went to jail, or oh yeah, it's fine that this is like the 105th time I've had a fight with this person I love, but that's just healthy. That's what relationships do. I feel like some people, like, listen, I'll be A to B real quick, okay? But I feel like sometimes, and I fucking hate those people. I hate the people who are like, yeah, everyone else is stupid. I'm the only smart one. But I feel like some people are very unintelligent when it comes to this kind of shit. Like, it's like when people see zero sugar, or what is it? What's the thing that most food products do or something like that? It's like no carbs, no sugar, or something like that. And on the back, if you actually look at it with your fucking eyes, you'll see like, oh, included different type of sugar that's not the main thing. So they technically can say, oh, no real sugar added. Oh, look, it's fucking, oh, it's a whole bunch of other shit that's in it. I feel like that is what people do with this stuff. They see people say stuff like, oh, well, it's actually healthy in a relationship to fight a little bit. And then they say, oh, so you're saying when I chuck the beer bottle at my fucking fiance, it's cool? Cool, dude. You know, but this is more of a circumstantial. It's like, you know, well, let's actually just read into it, I suppose. The 5 stages of conflict. Explore the typical stages couples go through during conflict and how to navigate them constructively. So what's the 5 stages? Let's go fucking go figure it out, I suppose. 5 stages of conflict. Sorry. Pondi's model of organizational conflict was formulated in 1967. Wow. Defining the conflict process of a dynamic among individuals is made up of 5 stages of conflict: latent stage, perceived stage, felt stage, manifest, conflict, aftermath. Do we have any cool Google images I can look at so I can just simply read this? I think this might be it. Latent conflict, under the surface, not yet happened, not expressed openly. So, what I'm understanding is like, this is if your partner, we're doing this for like partners and friendships or whatever, right? But this is when the other person does something like, I don't know, maybe they fucking keep talking about, I don't know. We'll just go with something else. It's like if they fart on you or something like that, and it's like, aha, funny, right? At first you were like, haha, that's funny, yeah, wow. But now you're like, I don't like that, right? It's under the surface. You haven't expressed it yet, but it's growing. There's some kind of hate growing, right? Triggering incident, spur of the moment, specific incident, moment of truth. So this is probably when I should have chosen like a better fucking example, but it's like if your fucking partner farts on you, right? Then you fucking shove them and you're like, stop! Don't do that ever again. Right? Then we move on to the conflict. Assumptions / labels, attack and blame, alliance built, entrenched. So this is probably the part where the partner would probably be like, I thought you thought it was funny. What is this? And then you fucking go off and you're like, it's not funny. You're fucking disgusting. I fucking die. I just hope you die because of this, okay? Right? Then they feel attacked and they're like, well, fuck you. You know, piece of shit. Maybe you shouldn't have been so fartable. Maybe you shouldn't have been someone I could fart on so easily. Bitch, fuck you. It's your fault. Right? Assumptions, labels, tax, and blame. Right? Apparently new equilibrium, new understanding, terms reached, conflict resolved, question mark? So this would be the stage of like, you know what? Fine. I understand you don't want to get farted on, but you should have been more clear, right? And then you were like, you know what? You're right. I should have been more clear. I should have spoke up and talked about it, but I thought you would have not loved me if you couldn't shit on me anymore, right? And then your partner's like, well, you know, I don't always love you. I just was doing that because I thought it was funny and you thought it was funny. And then you get that good feeling and you're like, you see, I misunderstood. I thought you were doing it to be a dickhead, and you know, I appreciate that you understand where I'm coming from. there you go. Until next week, and then something else fucking happens, and then it's all the way back over. In fact, it's kind of funny because quite literally the display for this image is a fucking endless cycle. Fun, isn't it? I like how they put conflict resolved question mark because they they fucking know it's this conflict which is resolved. It's not all the conflict, it's that conflict. What the fuck? Anyways, brown out, everybody. I guess those are the 5 stages, but there was only 4. What the fuck? Conflict process, the 5 stages of conflict. Stage 1, latent. Conflict hasn't. No, I don't want to sign up for your fucking monthly newsletter. Stage 1, latent. Conflict has an early, quiet stage. In conflict resolution theory, it is called the latent stage, meaning the participants are not yet aware of the conflict, but there may be hidden frustrations and they may surface at any time. Sometimes these brewing or buried conflicts never find their way to the open air. Other times, the conflict is looming and evident, and sometimes conflicts come without even warning, right? So, basically, it's just dependent on the situation, what's going to happen, what is happening, are you being mistreated? Do you feel unheard? Do you feel like you are being taken, what is it? Taken care of? No. You are being taken for granted. There you go. Sorry. My nose stuffy. Stage 2. Perceived and felt. Once a conflict develops and it is known, it goes through the perceived and felt stage. Parties may go through the stage simultaneously or at different times, depending upon events. Once they are aware that conflict exists, individuals begin to feel stress, anxiety, and or hostility. See, so I suppose it's not the actual event of it happening, but more of like it's like being backhanded. It's being sassy about it, It's like if you have that inner hatred balling up, or I guess again it could be anxiety or stress or whatever, but you have that balling up inside of you, you'll be very much like, they'll be like, have a good day at work, and you'll be like, yeah, thanks, right? Boom, standoffish, a little like, what the fuck, dude? Why you being like that? Stage 3, conflict approach. Next, each person involved in the dispute adopts an approach. These are based upon their conflict style choice and their own intention for handling the conflict. In day 2, we learned about the basic conflict styles of compete, avoid, accommodate, compromise, and collaborate/creative problem solve. These approaches make a difference in what happens next. So, this is like when. Sorry. This is what happens when people actually chat about it, They're. I don't know. Wait, hold up. Let me reread that. Adopts an approach. The dispute adopts an approach. These are based upon their conflict style choice and their own intention of handling the conflict. So, again, it depends on the people and how they would like to handle this conflict. Some people have different ways of approaching the conflict, of like, do I want to. Am I looking out for myself? Am I looking out for my partner? Am I looking out for both of us? How should I tackle this? You know what I mean? And I suppose compete would describe a sense of maybe doing it back to them, or maybe not even doing it back to them, but doing something more annoying, maybe. I don't know. Again, it's on a, it's what you are wanting. Like, not, no, sorry, my brain getting confused. Basically, you are trying to do something that might annoy them, and it's very dependent on the scenario. So I don't know exactly what that situation would be, but avoid would to be just not really deal with it. So maybe that's a type of approach, is like, I'll just avoid it for now. I'll avoid it for now. Accommodate. That kind of sounds like it would be. I don't know. Wouldn't that be the negotiation? Like I already see the next two stages. That sounds like, I'm willing to make an exception for that, or accommodate. Why would they have accommodate and compromise? Unless I'm misunderstanding, but I believe accommodation is like you don't really want to, but you're willing to. But then again, that also sounds like compromise. Jeez, sorry about that, everyone. Um, compromise would probably just be literally, hey, you know, we both can do this, or we both understand where this must draw the line. Collaborate creative problems. So collaborate would just be working together, I suppose. I don't know. Some of these are a little confusing. So stage 4, stalemate or negotiate. Depending on what strategy is used in 3, the conflict will either move forward, negotiate toward an agreement, or the dialogue will be shut down and a standoff will develop. There you go. So, as I was saying, it seems like accommodate and compromise, or accommodate might be like, the stalemate, the negotiation table. Whereas compromise and collaborate / creative problem solve is the, moving forward with it. I'm just misreading this whole fucking thing. It said the conflict will either move forward, negotiate. Oh, yeah, it is separate. Sorry, I didn't read the fucking comma. Jeez. Whereas the compete and avoid would be more of the standoff or the stalemate that they're not going to try and work out, Stage 5, aftermath. The outcome of the conflict can range from a fully positive resolution to the alternate, a relationship dissolution. In conflicts that are a one-time event, this may be the end. For those with ongoing relationships, this process looks less like a singular mountain, like the figure above, and more like an ongoing loop. Fuck that, dude. That's horrible. Sorry, my ears are fucked. So is my nose. So I guess it is truly a loop rather than a mountain spike. If that's like with some of the people that I've talked to, some of the relationships I've seen, that pretty much is like, oh, okay, this will be a continuous thing that will go on forever. you know, yeah, I suppose so. All right, on to the next thing. The importance of fair fighting. Discuss healthy conflict resolution strategies like avoiding the blame and focusing on solutions. So, my idea behind this, I'm not looking this up because this sounds pretty self-explanatory. But in fair fighting, it is to not get revenge on someone or to try and prove that you are the victor, you are the champion, you are the brown, It is you just trying to be like, hey, let's work this out, dude. Let's not fucking fight. This is horrible. This is a bad time, Again, it's not blaming someone else. It's trying to make yourself heard, It's like if I was, I don't know, if someone did not understand or like they ignored my wants and desires, right? And they just did their own thing, then of course I would feel like I'm not heard or something like that. Like avoiding blame and focusing on solutions. Yeah. So it would basically be me wanting to be like, hey, I feel like I'm not being heard, and it depends on what they do. If they are to blame and be like, well, so fuck you. You're stupid. No one likes your shitty little points, dude. Then that makes sense. That's a blame, right? Rather than a focusing on a solution where they would be like, maybe we can talk about this and understand where we're both coming from, and why I don't really care about you, Lamau, right? When to compromise and when to walk away. Explore the concept of healthy disagreement and setting boundaries during conflict. Ooh. So I guess this would go into the whole situation of whether you should be there and be like, hey, you know what? Let's work this out, baby. Right? Or if it is something that is so distressing to that person, you should just not be around them. You know what I mean? Removing yourself from the situation is a very good option and usually is best if the person feels a strong emotion, because that strong emotion will basically lead them to no new conclusions. They are totally out for whatever that feeling is. Like, if someone was to betray me, right, I would feel very angry and very mad, right? And I wouldn't want to see any kind of issue that may have had that arise. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to try and understand any of this, any of their point of view. I would only want to see my point of view, and that emotion would drive me forward. So sometimes it is just the best, like, walk away or not talk to that person until they've calmed down. You can see reason again. It's basically like a shut the fuck up, you crazy dude kind of moment. Holy shit, there's still like three more categories. How long it? 2 hours, dude. What the fuck? Man, if I wasn't such a sleepy boy, oh, hunkachu, me hungry, right? I'd probably be fucking bibbling. Wait, let me go get a cookie. Let me get 2 cookies, and then I'll come back and I'll freaking read up these last 3. I just need some kind of energy boost. Okay, we're back. Hello, Brown. Thank you. I had my 2 cookies. I had some more water. We're good to go. There probably won't be bibble babble after this, just being honest. All right, we're on to the next section of maintaining intimacy and passion. The difference between intimacy and passion. Discuss the 2 different ingredients for a fulfilling relationship and how they can evolve over time. I don't know. I'm pretty sure intimacy is just it is the actual connection. You know what I mean? It's like when you are holding hands, when you are you're basically showing acts of love. You are basically being like, hey, I love you, or you're like, I don't know, you're just holding them close. From my interpretation, intimacy basically means like the lovey-dovey sort of physical touch, which is like hand holding, petting their cheek, maybe just holding them close to you, something like that. Passion, on the other hand, is the more saucy type of scenario, which is like giving them fucking kisses, maybe making them squirt, I don't know. What is the difference between intimacy and passion? Let's see what Google says. Google is my overlord now. They will display every answer I want. Passion refers to the intense physical attraction partners feel towards one another. Intimacy involves the ability to share the share the feelings. What the fuck? To share feelings, personal thoughts, and psychological closeness with the other. Commitment is the conscious decision to stay together. So, again, I guess I suppose the intimate part can be much more of a, I was still kind of right. It's basically the connection between you both. It is attaching each other, being like, I love you, right? And you're just kind of there in it, You're like, you're able to understand this and understand exactly the amount of love that person has for you. Where again, passion is much more of like the physical saucy stuff, being very like, you just fucking rail that bitch over a couch or something. What the fuck? Who said that? Keeping the spark alive. Ideas for date nights and shared experiences. Offer practical strategies for couples to maintain connection and excitement. So, I don't know. I think date nights should be something familiar but unexpected. BRB. OMG, I'm back. Hello. That was a phone call. Now I have a cat up on my desk. Hey, Momo. Hello, Mingus. The Ming is in a relationship with me. I love her. All right. Anyways, what was I speaking of? Ah, yes. Date night should basically be a whatchamacallit. It should be something familiar but unexpected. You know, maybe not too unexpected, but something that surprises your partner. You know, makes them realize, hey, no wonder I'm still with this person and not, fucking off having a good time with some other people or something like that. You know what I mean? Come here, Ming Ming. Come here. That's what I feel like would be a good date night. Something familiar yet unexpected. Um, everyone likes a little surprise in their life. I feel like your partner is very much the same. They don't they're not wanting to just be like, no, I'm fine with the same old. Unless that's, kind of how they are, but I feel like there might be a bit of a difference with people. Some people don't like surprises. Like I don't like surprises. I'd rather know what's happening. But I think date nights are a good way to rekindle and just kind of uh, assure that person that you still care and you still have an effort in you to give um, into that relationship. You know what I mean? It's like a relationship is a baby. You have to take care of it. It's like an endless fire, actually. Never mind. You have to stoke it with its fucking flames. You have to keep feeding it forever until, oh, I don't know, someone comes over with a glass of water and pours it all over it and says, "Ah, you're divorced now." Lol. JK, bye. um, is for date nights and shared experiences. I don't know. Again, that's just like, hey, in order to maintain connection and excitement with your partner, maybe you should just do something that they like, or just I don't know. I feel like that's pretty simple, right? Just doing something that you both enjoy. Should never be something where only one party is feeling good about it. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be something only you enjoy and not something that only they enjoy, because someone might feel a little slighted during that whole thing and say, "Fuck you, what the fuck?" Right? So definitely make sure it's something that both people enjoy. Um, Make it something interactive as well. That's what I would definitely say is the most important thing. Make it something where it's interactive between both people. Because sure, you can just watch a movie together, but at that point, they could literally just be doing that with anyone, you know? They could literally just be like, well, you know, I could just be doing this on my own as well, you know? Make it something where both of you can enjoy. Either play a video game together or, I don't know, go somewhere fun together. That's what I think. Maybe have a date night where it's like, let's draw each other's portraits, and you try and draw each other or something cool like that. But some other ideas I can think of. Game nights, but boards. Play games that don't require like, you to actually like play classic games like Monopoly or some shit like that. They have an online version as well in case uh you know that's the only way you can play it. They got plenty of things you can do together to make it something interactive. They're more likely to remember it than watching like, I don't know, The Boys season 3 episode 2 or something like that. um the role of physical touch and emotional intimacy. Discuss the importance of physical affection and emotional vulnerability in a relationship. See, those are both very good things. Um, Very important, I feel like. I'm very much a touch kind of guy. See these big grippers I got right here? Clinch, 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 right? Um, I don't know. I would just want like I'm pretty sure everyone's had that experience in their life where they're feeling down, or maybe not even down, they're just like um I don't know, they just need some kind of reassurance or something like that. And they get like that back rub. This is for the guys, okay? I don't know if it's for the women. This is just my experience, but getting that back rub where it's just like, oh, you're a good little doggy, you know? Like I'm a fucking animal. You know, just being pet a little bit and being like, oh, you know, everything is gonna be all right, you know? I think that's a great kind of physical touch. I think some women are like that as well, but they're more like, you know, I want to be held close to my partner. I want to hold their hands, you know. I want to get fucking raw dogged. um yeah, I think that's basically the summary of it. Um Emotional vulnerability in a relationship. So that one, at least for me, it's a little bit more tough. I would need to feel quite a bit of trust with that person in order to open up emotionally. It's kind of like, have you guys ever heard the expression of street smarts versus book smarts? Uh, or basically, uh, experience versus wisdom, you know? Not even wisdom, maybe just intelligence. I don't know. Like, I have a deep understanding of emotions, how they are, uh, you know, how they come from people, how it makes people feel, right? But it's not really something I can express myself. You know, I don't feel socially available for that. You know, I don't feel like I can fully uh, put my heart out on the line because it's gonna get fucking ignored or stomped on, right? Um, which I understand it is an issue. I should probably deal with that, but for the time being, you know, I understand. Hey, you know, I don't want to do this. So for me, that would be a tough one to do. But if it was someone I totally trusted, maybe I would open up to them. But even with that, there's some people like I've known quite a while, and there's still some part of me that's like I would never emotionally open up to this person. Like, listen, I'm allowed to be at least a little bit narcissistic, right? Just a tiny bit, but um, it's like a point of no one gives a flying fuck besides me. You know what I mean? um, I don't know. Maybe that's a little too much, but it's just basically me believing that the only person who can understand what I'm going through is myself. But then again, I also don't give people the chance to understand or try to attempt to understand what I'm going through or how I feel. You know what I mean? It's more of like, oh, you took a swung, you couldn't land it, lol, bye. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's the whole issue of that. But uh, if I had a partner, they would probably uh, not be with me long because of that. And that's a big issue. That's why everyone, including myself, should work on that if they're not available to do that. People need to know that you're alive on the inside. You know what I mean? Like, sure, they can physically touch you and be like, "Ah, you're still warm blooded. You're not a little corpse." But if you're not emotionally available, again, I kind of talked about this earlier about the whole neutral face, neutral tone of voice. Uh, they can't pick up any emotion. So it's like you're a fucking corpse, you know? How are people supposed to connect to you or be able to understand where you're coming from or anything like that if they can't even connect to you, you know? Because you're not displaying anything. You're not giving them anything. It's kind of like those people who, what is it? I'm trying to think of them. I'm having a brain fart. Basically, it's those people who like to act. I don't know. They want to act like they don't get that kind of attention, the attention that they desire, right? But they also don't even put in the effort to allow people to try and do that for them. You know what I mean? There's no amount of like actual dialogue, I suppose. That's maybe what I'm looking for. I don't know. I'm getting extremely tired. The role of physical touch. Yeah. So we completed that chapter. Good one, everyone. We did good. Sorry for the interruptions, of course. Love languages and action. So this is the second to the last. Understanding the 5 love languages. Explore the concept of love languages, words of affirmation, acts of services, gifts, quality time, and physical touch, and their impact on relationships. Words of affirmation. So saying, hey, I love you. Hey, I think you're really great at this. I respect you. I deeply, I look up to you. You know, something like that makes people go goo goo gaga, right? Like, you don't even have to be like, you know, you don't have to like describe the most detailed, most like not saucy. What am I trying to think of? The most detailed kind of book of a compliment, you know, or a phrase or anything like that. Simply just saying to someone, you know, I think you're cool. That can just make them fucking explode with love and so much happiness. You know what I mean? I don't know. I suppose it depends on the person. Like, some people get told that a whole lot, so they might just be like, "Okay, lol, die." But some people, they lack that kind of attention, and so they will crave it dearly. They will be like, "Please, I just need someone to tell me I'm a very good Sonic player today. Please." You know. I think that can be tough for a few people, not only to give, but to also receive. The giving part of like having to display that emotion, I suppose. I don't know. I guess that's the tough issue, is that it's like, well, you know, beautiful baffle, you know. No, what am I trying to say? You can't just go into that brain mode, please. Yeah, some people who give it out must, I don't know. Is that like a strange concept of like it's difficult for people to say that kind of stuff? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. What are the some of the situations where you would use that? Maybe with your lover, right? I can understand that. Like, just, I don't know, if you're truly in love with someone, you wouldn't really have any issue struggling by saying like cool words of affirmation, being like, you're a cool dude, you know. But you know, receiving that can also be a tough one, because like some people don't believe that they deserve that kind of affirmation from those words. You know, they don't believe that they deserve that kind of compliment or genuine feeling towards them. Acts of service. So that's like if your partner is having such a horrible day, you're like, you know what? Oh, my fucking back hurt bad, but me need to go and do the laundry. Oh, you're like, you know what? I actually did that for you while you were at work. Look, it's right over there. It's folded and it's clean, right? That's an act of service because you are actively doing something that's not within. I mean, it depends on the. Depends on the score, the chore schedule, but basically you're going out of your way to be doing something that's not enjoyable, right? Or can be a little annoying or troublesome, or it takes up your time, right? And you're doing it for them. So that way they can be allotted that time or that, availability. There's other things like that, of course. It's basically just kind of like, you ever watch those movies or shows and it's a couple and they come across a puddle and the guy takes off his jacket and he's like, "Oh, let me lay that on the ground for you, miss, so you don't dirty your shoes, even though we could step like 2 steps to the left and go around the puddle. Let me do that for you, ma'am." Right? Um yeah, it's just fucking, it's just you do shit that usually would be inconsequential to you. No, not inconsequential. It would be basically tough for you to deal with, but you do it for them. By the way, just a quick side note: who the fuck did any of that? Like, oh, let me lay my coat in the puddle for you so you can cross, and not have your fucking shoes get dirty. Like, what? If that was my partner, I'd be like, dude, man, what? Where you put your fucking coat down, dude? Like, I have to clean that later. What are you, stupid? Let's see what else. Gifts. Yeah, gifts. La di da. There's nothing new here. You give someone a present that they enjoy, congratulations. You won more fucking love language with them, I guess. I would be terrible with that. I'd be like, oh, I'll give them Earth Defense Force 5 on Steam. And they'd be like, the fuck is this? I wanted Baldur's Gate 3, bitch. Quality time. I think that literally just means being next to them. Just like, you don't even have to you ain't gotta finger bang them. You don't have to be watching a movie with them. I think you could literally just be sitting next to them, breathing out of your fucking fat, snotty nose, and they'd be like, oh, I love them. Right. Maybe that's not too much of a quality time, but it's a time together. Physical touch. Again, we already covered that. It's basically just like hand holding, patting your back, being like, "Oh, you're a good little fucking tism," right? That could mean the world to lots of people. I've noticed that, at least with this, some of these hit pretty good for me. Others, it's like, I don't fucking care. I think for me, it would be the words of affirmation, but they have to be genuine. You can't just be like, "Oh, you're a cool dude," right? Then I'm just gonna sit there like default 01, right? I'm not gonna take that, but if you're like, "Oh, you're a good guy," then I'm like, "Wow, thank you." I would say physical touch as well. That as well. Very nice. How to speak your partner's love language. Discuss ways to express love in a way your partner appreciates, even if it's different from your own. So basically, it's like, maybe their love language is that they really appreciate being just chatting. They just love chatting with you and just having you listen to their issues. It's not something you enjoy particularly, but at least they're enjoying it. You know what I mean? Even if it's different from your. So it's not even like a enjoy versus not enjoy. It's not an act of service. It's more of like, you are being able to bend to what they enjoy. You are able to cooperate in exactly what they view as acts of love from you. You know what I mean? Like some people, some women, you could get them like a $5,000 ring and a big ass box of chocolates, maybe a big ass teddy bear, right? And they'll feel nothing from it because that's not their love language. You know, some people are actually like that. Um, some people just, maybe their love language is genuinely just like uh, being able to play games with you or something like that. You know, it's different strokes for different folks, as they would say. Love languages and cultural differences. Explore how cultural backgrounds can influence how people express and receive love. I don't really care. I'm gonna be honest. I don't. It's basically the second thing of like how to speak your partner's love language. You know, like if their culture is you show love by fucking dominating, and you're like, hey yo, fucking get to work, honey. I love you, right? Then yeah, that's just a different of like your partner's love language. Anyways, let's move on to the last category, shall we? Dealing with jealousy and insecurity. Explore the roots of jealousy and insecurity and discuss healthy ways to manage these emotions. Um, so maybe you don't like it when that person talks to another person, right? And you're getting like fucking upset with it, right? My number one solution to it is to express how you're feeling, first and foremost. Like, I think what a lot of people don't understand is that you can literally just talk about these things and it will resolve a lot more cleanly if you do, rather than being a little fucking baby and throwing a tantrum and not using your words, you know? Did you guys know that? If you just, oh, I don't know, fucking use your top lip and if you use this and this, right? You can literally just fucking talk it out and be like, hey, you know, I have to admit, I'm feeling pretty jealous that you're hanging around this person, or that, your friends are getting a lot more attention than me, you know, and I don't know what to do about it. You know, I feel like maybe you're gonna leave me, or maybe, I don't know, am I not good enough for you? Right? And if you have a good partner, they will not learn, they will listen. Listen and learn. They will listen to uh, what you're saying, and they will be like, "Oh, I'm sorry I made you feel like that. You know, I'm just trying to have fun with my friends, you know. And if that makes you uncomfortable, I'm sorry to hear, but I'd like to learn how to make you comfortable with this situation, you know. That's important as well. If you're in a relationship, you don't say, "Oh, okay," and then fucking do it. You know, say, "Okay, well, no more friends. No more friends then." What you do is you compromise. You negotiate and you say, "Okay, well, I still enjoy my friends. I still enjoy the time that I'm spending with them, but how can I make it where you feel included? Or maybe, like, is there certain times I need to take a break and just chat with you, maybe? Like, what would you like?" It's all about talking. Talking is the most important thing. Thank you. Um, Blended families and step parenting. Oh wait, what? Wait, what? Navigating challenges. Blended families and step parenting. The unique psychological challenges, discuss the complexities of blended families, and offer tips for successful co-parenting. When I think of blended families, I'm thinking of, like, people who have adopted a different race than their own. Like, you got like you got a chocolate and vanilla swirl kind of family, dude. What the F? You know? No, but I don't think it means that. I think it means, like, actual blended up families in a blender, chopped to little bits and pieces. No, but probably blended families. What the fuck does that even mean? I guess it means, like, if your relationship with your partner is not well, then of course you're not gonna have them be at your place all the time unless the other parent is dead because that parent wants to fucking not be around you because relationship fucked up. Hey, fucking took the. Sorry, my cat is being a little troll right now. Anyways, um, to finish up on that, basically, I think it's trying to say that some parenting situations can be difficult when you are no longer able to be around that person, but to make sure you understand um, the different aspects of it, I suppose, like accepting the other parent, the step parent, being okay with that. If you are a step parent, maybe understanding like how I don't fucking know. This is supposed to be a relationship, so why am I talking about fucking families and shit like that, dude? Uh, I guess if I had to offer any amount of people babble to this podcast is falling off, dude, because I'm too fucking sleepy. It was like good the first few chapters, but now it's fucked. Um, dealing with jealousy. I don't know. I guess fucking I don't know. Listen to your fucking partner, the actual person that is the child's parent. Listen to them and be like, oh, okay, I understand. Listen to the other parent as well. Like, it's not just your partner's kid. It's also someone else's kid as well. I think that's something that should be noted. Like, and I'm speaking in like pure fairy tale kind of, listen to the other parent. Like, this is a very nuclear family. They're very understanding of each other, but they do have their differences. And I'm thinking of like, oh, well, the stepmom, maybe she talks with the OG mom of the child and is like, hey, uh, the kid asked about this or wanted to do this. What do you think would be best? I think this would be good. But I want your opinion on it because you're the actual parent of the child. I think that's what they mean by co-parenting or step-parenting. I think co-parenting is literally you are separated, but you know, you're separated, but you're actually still working it out together, which I think is very nice. Relationships in the digital age. The impact of social media and technology. Explore the challenge and opportunities technology presents for relationships. Um, if it's online relationship, uh, it's over. Fuck off. It is a 99% chance that it is going to fail, right? Because of all those things that we talked about, of like, oh well, uh, they don't. You don't have physical touch. You don't have really any good moments of being with each other. Quality time, I suppose. I don't know. I feel like for me, I don't believe in online relationships. I don't. There's something that is lacking there where people um feel like maybe they could get it somewhere else. Like if you're not being cheated on, then I don't know, you must have a real fucking good keeper, but it's either you're going to get cheated on, you're going to have the lack of emotion or touch or whatever that lots of people need in order to realize, hey, this is a relationship I'm in. Thank goodness I'm in this. You're gonna lack that, or it's just I don't know. It's basically those two. I feel like online relationships don't work. If we're meaning like relationships in the digital age, impact of social media and technology. I don't know. I feel like that's about it. Basically, people want to date. They go online, they find people they can date, and then they get in a relationship. Sometimes it works, but I feel like, again, you know, let me honestly ask you this, guys. Think a online relationship would work if it is for the rest of your life and you would never be able to physically hold that person close to you or touch them or, you know, anything like that, you know? Maybe there's only one time that you get to actually be with each other and it's to conceive a child, you know? That's basically what I mean. It's like, if it's not within the first 6 months of something happening where there's an actual effort, and I mean actual effort to be closer to each other physically, then where the fuck are you going with this? You know, you're in something of like a limbo because you feel like, and this is coming from a guy who was in an online relationship, right? Um, basically it was basically, hey, why stick around in this relationship? You know, I don't know. I'm gonna be crucified for all this shit that I'm saying, but I'm just saying that like, um, you are depriving both yourself and your partner at the time of actually finding someone in real life that they can connect with. You know, like, do it also for yourself. You can find someone who is probably close, or at least closer, somewhere, someone who's, you know, nearby-ish. You know, if they're like a city away, fine, that's perfectly fine. You have that chance to visit them. But if they live across the country or even not even in the same country, then what the fuck? What are you doing? You know, what are you doing with your life? Why are you in this? You know. Anyways, that's just my little cringe take on online relationships. I don't know what else it means by digital age, impact of social media. Let's make a fucking YouTube channel together, honey, where I do epic pranks on you, and then I get thousands of likes on the YouTube channel. Then we get money, and then we have a big fight because you don't want to do it anymore. Sorry, let me drink water. That's about it. Um, These are just a few ideas to get you started. Remember to tailor your discussions to your target audience and keep the content informative, engaging, and relatable. You can also invite experts like therapists or relationship coaches to offer additional insights. Fuck you. Lol. Sorry. um yeah. All right. I suppose that's it, everybody. We fully did a big ass podcast on this. How long? 241. Jeez. I don't think even previous episode of Within the Flesh did that. Here, one second. I'm sorry, everyone. I know you can't see my pretty little face. I don't know why it's like that, but I want to go see the Within the Flesh previous episode and see if I also went for a long time. One of them I went for long. So I think it was Anger and Resolution, which was 2 hours. 2 hours and 4 minutes. Jesus. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, we did good on this one. I'm sorry that it kind of fell off around like the 2 hour mark, you know. But I'm not used to it. What do you want from me, dude? Um let me go see if there's any podcast questions. I doubt there is. Those have kind of fallen off. Maybe there's some on the other Bipple podcast. Yeah, I don't know if this is actually a genuine thing or not. Like, or not genuine. If this is a current, or if I've already answered it, which I think I have. Which is the now that you finally made it in the Reactuber world, what's your next course of action? Um, Thank you. I think genuinely, uh, maybe I already answered that, but if not, I'll go ahead and say that the reaction is pretty much over. We're done. It's over. It fell off. It was a pretty good time. I felt pretty nice. I think I even got like 2 or at least 1 new person from that whole experience, so I appreciate it. But I think maybe I'll look back in a year and then I'll be like, man, that Justy had it so good. You know. I kind of been doing that lately with all sorts of different videos or anything like that. I'm like, man, that Justy was so funny, and now look at me, I'm such an unfunny fuck. Yeah, basically it. Uh, Anything else about relationships? Let's think. Again, this all comes from a man who has not been in a relationship since about middle school to high school ish. So if you're literally like thinking to yourself, man, I gotta think over my whole relationship now, or man, I gotta check my aspects. I need to check who I am as a person. Just remember, this is coming from someone who doesn't really, who's not a professional at any of this shit. Then again, right? I'm gonna be honest. I don't think you need to be in a relationship in order to understand how one operates. You know what I mean? It's like if you look at enough of them, it's like a car, right? If you look at enough of them, you understand there's something inside that makes it go forward, and there's something that makes it go not forward and makes it stop, right? You don't have to be driving the fucking car in order to understand how it operates, right? Just being around it, just being able to see it, um, allows you the understanding. Maybe not the experience, right? But you'll at least be able to understand it and be able to give your input upon it, right? Um, Anyone who says anything different of like, oh well, you never had any of this experience in this category, so what's your opinion matter? Fuck you, fuck you. Okay, nice fucking scapegoat, bitch. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Anyways, um, that'll be it for Within the Flesh, episode 34. I'm gonna probably have a hard time figuring out what to call this one. Probably something like, it's gotta be something catchy. Like, an overview upon relationships. Good. Good. Well, podcast, even maybe. But thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Like, I know I didn't really do a podcast lately because I've mostly been doing my own thing. I've been wanting to just save up a category that actually I felt passionate about doing, but um I haven't had that happen lately. But I like this. At least the first maybe hour and a half. Um I don't know when the next Within the Flesh will be, but maybe it'll be sooner rather than later. You know? Uh but I love you all. I hope you all have a good rest of your night. Um it's been a good time. I hope maybe you've learned some shit with me. I think the most thing that I learned is like the whole, oh, if you were a baby and you got fucked up because you're a little tism, right? Some people didn't love you as much. You're basically fucked for the rest of your life. I don't know. Again, that the whole thing did say that you are able to change that, but for me, it was just like, fuck you. I spit on you. Puh. Right? But, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. make sure to leave a little, I don't know, a question down below in the comments. And here's the thing. If you want to ask me a question, be sure to type in WTH, which would usually be what the hell, but we're going to do, wait, it's not H, I'm sorry. It's literally what, WTF. I put in brackets, WTF, and then your question afterwards. Within the flesh is what the acronym is for, but ask me that way, so that way I can understand and see it. But thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Maybe you learned a little bit about your relationship or something like that. But yeah, I love you, toodaloo, and boo-bye.